Hello my dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am come back with a new topic, design and analysis of dual source vertical tunnel field effect transistor for high performance. Before we will start, first I will request you, please like, subscribe and share my channel. Let's start. Most of the students called me and told me about please make a video on a dual source vertical tunnel field effect transistor and give their advantages and code. Today we will discuss about one of the novel structure in vertical TFET is dual source vertical tunnel field effect transistor. First we will discuss why we use dual source vertical tunnel field effect transistor. Device such as TFET is being found to a replacement of conventional MOSFET to overcome the limitation of short channel effects and improve input characteristics of the device like steeper subthreshold slope, low subthreshold swing, low threshold voltage and high I-on-I-off current ratio. TFET is technically a substitute of MOSFET. Most of the disadvantages of the MOSFET are overcome by the TFET. TFET technology reduces the short channel effects because of the tunneling phenomena is different from the MOSFET. In case of TFET, we are using band-to-band tunneling mechanism, but in case of MOSFET, we were used thermonic emission. Due to band-to-band tunneling mechanism, the off current of the tunnel field effect transistor is low, so that the I-on-I-off current ratio of TFET is large as compared to MOSFET. The working principle of TFET is based upon band-to-band tunneling mechanism, which is responsible for the drain to source current, which further controlled by the gate biasing voltage. In this presentation, we propose and simulate a novel structure of a double source and U-shaped gate tunnel field effect transistor to enhance the on-state current and suppress the off-state current. The Silvico Atlas simulation results show that the dual source vertical TFET has high on-state current and low off-state current compared with the conventional TFET and achieve a steep subthreshold slope. The advantage of using the dual source vertical TFET, it has high on current as compared to conventional TFET, and it also achieves low subthreshold slope as compared to conventional TFET. An optimized designed dual source vertical tunnel field effect transistor is proposed and investigated using technology computer aided design simulation Silvico TCAD tool. In this PPT, in order to overcome these shortages, the proposed U-shaped vertical TFET is adopted and found with steeper subthreshold slope and enhanced on current. There is a one drawback of the conventional TFET, that is low on-state current. To increase the on-state current, we have introduced a new technology or novel structure, that is dual source vertical TFET. It will enhance the on current and increase the I-on-I-off current ratio. In comparison to the conventional TFET, the U-shaped vertical TFET consists of U-shaped vertical dual source with the effective thinner channel length up to 8 nanometer, which meritoriously doubles the turning area and improves the drive current. In the proposed structure, the channel length is 8 nanometer. It will increase the tunneling efficiency of the device so that the device on current improves a lot. Figure in the next slide, that is this one. This is the proposed structure. Figure represents the schematic structure of proposed U-shaped N-type dual source vertical TFET. Uses HFO2 as a high K dielectric medium and the effective gate oxide thickness is 2 nanometer and the physical gate length is 8 nanometer. The device consists of symmetrical dual source with effective length of 20 nanometer each side with a drain height and width of 5 nanometer and 50 nanometer respectively. From the figure, you can note down that the source length in either side is 20 nanometer. And the channel length is 8 nanometer, gate oxide thickness is 2 nanometer and the source thickness is around 50 nanometer and the drain thickness is around 5 nanometer. The gate work function is set as 3.8 electron volt and other parameter is varied accordingly. The doping concentration of the channel is around 10 raised to power 17 per centimeter cube and source doping is P plus type. It is approximate 10 raised to power 20 per centimeter cube and the drain doping is N plus plus type, which is equal to 10 raised to power 19 per centimeter cube. All the simulation are implemented in the Selvico 2D simulator technology computer aided design TCAD with a known local path band-to-band modeling model for determining the tunneling path. This is the proposed structure. Source doping 10 raised to power 20. I have already said you about these parameters. You can note down these parameters for designing and simulation of dual source vertical TFET. Let's move to the code. This is the code of dual source vertical TFET. Starting from the Go Atlas. Next is mesh definition. Mesh space dot multiple is equal to 1.0. This is a multiplying factor. Next, Xmax location starting from 0 and end at 48 nanometer. This means length of the device is 48 nanometer with different level of spacing. At the junction, I am giving the fine meshing as compared to other part of the device. And the Y meshing is starting from the 0 and up to the 75 nanometer with different spacing. 0.005, this means 5 nanometer to 0.5 nanometer, 1 nanometer, different value of spacing. After defining the meshing region, we have to define the region part. In the region part, I have started from the region number 1, material silicon with their positional parameter, X minimum 0 to X maximum up to the maximum value 48 nanometer, Y minimum 0 to the maximum value 75 nanometer. Region number 2 is for the oxide part, that is the HFO2 with their positional parameter. Region number 3, 4, 5 and 6 is again silicon part with their positional parameter. Please note down every quantity very carefully, otherwise your code will not work. After defining the region part, next you have to define the electrode part. Electrode number 1 is gate. We are using the dual source so that we have to use 2 source electrode number 2 and 3 and the electrode number 4 for the drain electrode. And their positional parameter are mentioned simultaneously. Next, we are doing the simulation of TFET structure. Next, you have to define the quantum tunneling region where tunneling took place. Next, we have to define the QT quantum tunneling X meshing region from location 0.015 to 0.05. The spacing is 0.5 nanometer. And the next is Y meshing, quantum tunneling Y meshing starting from 0 up to the 60 nanometer with the spacing of 0.5 nanometer. After defining the quantum tunneling meshing, next you have to define the device doping. In the doping region, we are using the 2 source region. The doping of the source region is equal to 1E20 with their different positional parameter, left side and right side. Next, you have to define the doping region for the channel region. We are using the doping of channel region is about 10 raised to power 17 with their positional parameter. Next, you have to define the doping region for the drain region. We are using the doping in the drain region is 10 raised to power 19 with their positional parameter. X minimum 0, Y minimum 0.065 and the Y maximum 0.070. Next, you have to define the contact region. You can also define the mass of an electron and hole. Next, I have defined the contact region, contact for the gate, drain and source. At the gate end, we are using the work function 3.8 electron volt. After defining the contact region, you have to provide the model to the structure. Next, we are using the model, concentration mobility model, BGN model, SRH model, Shockley model, CVT model, Fermi model. Next is the quantum tunneling dot directory model is equal to Y directory, BBT non-local model. After defining the model part, you have to define the method statement. We are using two method statement, Newton and trap method. Next, you have to provide the drain voltage. The point to be noted that you have to give the drain voltage in the gradually manner, starting from the 0 and end at the 1 volt, 0, 0.05, 0.1 volt, 0.5 volt and the 1.0 volt. After giving the drain voltage, you have to give the gate voltage. First, you have to save the log file with the name of I had given VDS TFET 1.0. Next, solve AC frequency. We are giving this solve AC frequency to find out the capacitance of the structure. Next, we have to give the gate voltage starting from the 0 and end at the 1 volt with the step include 0.05 volt. Name is equal to gate. After giving the different voltage at the drain and source, you have to save the structure file by this command, save outf is equal to the file name is this.str. The extension of the structure file is .str and the extension of the log file is .log. By visualizing these two structure file, these two log file and the structure file, you have to use the Tonyplot command. Tonyplot is the output command to observe the output in the waveform. Next, wait. When you run this program, you will find two files. One is the structure file and one is the log file. I will show you. This is my structure file. You can note down that the proposed structure is the same as that of simulated structure. Source length is about 20 nanometer. Both side. Gate length is 8 nanometer. And the thickness of the device, thickness of the oxide layer is 2 nanometer. I have already discussed about the parameter of this structure. One more is the log file. This is the log file in the linear form. You can change the log file in the log form. Right click on it, display, select the Vibrance scale is log. Okay. Now the y-axis is in log form, 10 raised to power minus 13 to 10 raised to power minus 3. The value of the on current is higher than 10 raised to power minus 4. That is the current in the milliampere. And the value of the off current is approximate in between the 10 raised to power minus 12 to 10 raised to power minus 13. And the point to be noted that the subthreshold slope is very low, so that the switching speed of the device is very good. Gate voltage is vary from 0 to 1 volt and the threshold voltage is around 0.25 volt. Let's go to the PPT. This is the table. Performance comparison of different work function for N-type dual source vertical TFET. As we change the work function of the device, we can note down that the threshold voltage is start increasing. This means if you are decreasing the work function, the threshold voltage is reached to the minimum value. And the value of the subthreshold slope is almost constant when you change the work function of the device. And the value of the off current is this and the on current is this. You can note down that the on current start increasing if you are increasing the work function from 3.0 to 4.0 electron volt. And the on off current is high at 4 electron volt. And the average subthreshold slope is also increasing. And average subthreshold slope is also increasing from if you are increasing the work function from 3.0 to 4.0 electron volt. But it will be increased. This means you will get the optimized average subthreshold slope at 3.6 electron volt. It is about 3.47 millivolt per decade. This will show the switching speed is very good for dual source vertical TFET as compared to conventional TFET. I will show the curve also in the next slide. This is the transfer characteristic curve of IDS versus VGS for different value of gate work function from 3.6 to 4.0 electron volt. For N-type dual source vertical TFET, in which the channel doping is 10 raised to power 17 per centimeter cube and the gate voltage is increasing from 0 to 1 volt and the drain voltage is set at 1 volt. This is not the 1.5, this is the 1 volt. Figure 3 represents the simulated IDS versus VGS graph with the variation of gate work function from 3.6 electron volt to 4.0 electron volt. Due to variation in the work function, it is observed that from the figure, the threshold voltage of the device can be adjusted and optimized to the value of 0.15 volt. From the table, you can note down that the threshold voltage, the optimized threshold voltage value at 3.6 electron volt. The threshold voltage is calculated with the constant current method. If you don't know about the constant current method, it will describe that the minimum current is required to switch the device from off to on state, that is 10 raised to power minus 7 ampere per micrometer. This means the gate voltage corresponding to that current is equal to the threshold voltage. If you want to find out the threshold voltage by using constant current method, then the current voltage corresponding to that current 10 raised to power minus 7, that is that point, that point, that point and that point will show the threshold voltage of the device. When increasing the work function of the device, the graph is shifted from left to right. It will increase the threshold voltage. If you are reducing the work function of the device, then the graph is shifted from right to left. It will reduce the threshold voltage of the device. The electron concentration along the channel is increased as the gate work function is reduced up to 3.6 electron volt. This will help to increase the on current. And the graph shifted toward the left side, which leads to the high on state current recorded as 1.74 into 10 raised to power minus 4 ampere per micrometer. One of the characteristics we are discussing in this structure, that is transfer characteristics for variation in channel thickness for N-type dual source vertical TFET. The new proposed structure of dual source vertical tunnel field effect transistor consists of ultra thin channel. However, the channel thickness holds its importance to the performance of the device. The impact of the variation with the channel thickness on the device characteristics at VDS is equal to 1 volt is shown in the figure. As the channel thickness starts decreasing from 10 nanometer to 8, 7 and 5 nanometer respectively, then the off-state current will also increase proportionally. After the channel thickness is thin enough, the drain field increases the electron band-to-band tunneling rate with a static electric field. From the curve, you can note down that the minimum value of the off current is at when the channel thickness is 10 nanometer. If you are reducing the channel thickness, this will increase the static electric field and increase the off current up to 10 raised to power minus 7 ampere per micrometer. And the last characteristics we will discuss in this structure, dual source vertical TFET with temperature. The factor of the temperature includes the reliability of the device. In general, the ambipolarity conduction exhibits the smaller dependency over temperature, whereas the off-state current will depreciate when the tunneling will fall at the drain channel interface. The ambipolar current of dual source vertical TFET is very less, so that we did not include the gate voltage in the negative direction. With the rise in the temperature, the off current will also increases, which overall reduce the I-on-I of current ratio as shown in the figure. This happens due to the phonon scattering and thermally generated reverse leakage current. Simply, if you are increasing the temperature, this will increase the phonon scattering in the device. This will generate more reverse leakage current in the device. You can note down from the figure, if you are increasing the temperature from 200 Kelvin to 600 Kelvin, the off current start increasing due to the thermally generated reverse leakage current. The off current start increasing at 200 or about 300 Kelvin is about 10 raised to power minus 12 to 10 raised to power minus 13. If you are increasing the temperature, it will increase the minority carrier in the device and increase the off current up to the 10 raised to power minus 8 to 9. However, the subthreshold slope will improve with reduce in the temperature as reported in the table due to the trap assisted tunneling current was suppressed at low temperature. When you increase the temperature of the device, it will impact on two factors. One is ion-I-off current ratio and second is subthreshold slope. If you are increasing the temperature, the off current start increasing. It will reduce the ion-I-off current ratio. And one more thing, if you are increasing the temperature, it also bitrate or deteriorate the subthreshold slope of the device. This means it will increase the subthreshold slope of the device. For better switching arrangement, we have to need a low subthreshold slope of the device. You can note down from the table, if you are increasing the temperature and the I-off current is reduced from this value from that value. This means it will increase the ion-I-off current ratio and the value of the average subthreshold slope at this one. At 200 Kelvin the average subthreshold slope is 44 and at 500 Kelvin the average subthreshold slope is around 40.3 millivolt per decade. My dear friend, this is end for today. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel and share my video with your friends also. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.